This land was never meant to become a symbol of power. It was not born to lead the world. It did not wake up one day and decide to control money, wars, culture, and dreams. At the beginning, this land had no name, no borders drawn with arrogance, no flags claiming ownership, no speeches about freedom. Yet somehow, this land became everything. Before America existed, something darker existed first: desire. The desire to own, to expand, to dominate. This is not a fairy tale. This is not a motivational story. This is the uncomfortable truth of how nations are built. America was not discovered. It was taken, shaped, broken, rebuilt, and defended again and again. And once you understand how it was built, you understand how power really works. Long before foreign ships touched the shore, this land was alive. Not silent, not waiting. It was home. Tribes lived across vast landscapes, each with their own systems, beliefs, and understanding of life. They didn't measure land by ownership. They measured it by belonging. Nature wasn't something to conquer. It was something to respect. Communities thrived without emperors or crowns, without global ambitions, without the hunger to rule others. But history rarely protects peaceful civilizations, because peace doesn't expand. Power does. And one day, the horizon changed. Strangers arrived from across the ocean. They carried faith, fear, weapons, and certainty. They didn't come to learn. They came to claim. What followed wasn't instant destruction. It was slower, more cruel. Diseases wiped out communities before battles ever began. Promises were made, broken, and forgotten. Land was taken not all at once, but piece by piece. Settlements grew. Forests disappeared, and a new system replaced the old one. The land was no longer shared. It was owned. This was the real beginning of America, not as a nation, but as a process of control. As settlements expanded, something unexpected happened. The people who escaped control did not want to be controlled again. Orders came from far away. Rules were enforced by people who never touched the soil. Taxes were demanded without consent. Slowly, anger turned into identity, and identity turned into rebellion. The idea was simple, but dangerous. What if power belongs to the people? That idea spread faster than fear. And once people believe they deserve control over their lives, there is no turning back. When independence was claimed, the world watched. A new nation was born, bold, confident, and unfinished. Freedom was written loudly, but practiced selectively. The country expanded rapidly, westward, outward, relentlessly. Railroads cut through land and lives. Native populations were pushed further into silence, and slavery became the backbone of growth. This was America's greatest contradiction, a nation built on freedom, supported by chains, and contradictions always demand payment. Eventually, the lie collapsed. The nation split not because it wanted to, but because it had to. What followed was chaos. Families torn apart, cities turned into graves. It was not glorious. It was not clean. It was survival. When the war ended, slavery was gone, but the scars remained. America survived itself, and that survival changed its mindset forever. Because once a nation lives through internal destruction, it starts believing it is unstoppable. After the bloodshed, speed replaced reflection. Factories rose where fields once stood. Cities swallowed silence. Immigrants arrived with nothing and built everything. Ideas turned into machines. Machines turned into power. America stopped thinking small. It started thinking global. The nation moved faster than its morals, faster than its laws, faster than its own understanding. And then the world caught fire. Global wars reshaped the planet. Empires collapsed. Economies burned. America didn't emerge untouched. It emerged stronger. Money flowed through its systems. Culture spread through its screens. Influence reached places armies never could. This was power without borders. America didn't just fight wars. It shaped outcomes. And without asking permission, it became the center of gravity for the modern world. From the outside, America looked united. One flag, one voice, one image broadcast to the world. But inside, cracks were forming quietly. Different beliefs, different truths, different versions of what freedom actually meant. Some people lived the dream, others chased it endlessly, and some were never allowed to touch it at all. Power had created opportunity, but also distance, between rich and poor, between promise and reality. America learned something dangerous during this phase. You don't need everyone to agree. You only need enough people to believe. And belief can be controlled. As technology advanced, America's influence became invisible. It no longer needed soldiers everywhere. It needed systems, money systems, media systems, cultural systems, what people watched, what they admired, what they feared. The world slowly started moving to American rhythms. Without being asked, this wasn't domination through force. It was domination through attraction. And that made it far more powerful. Because when people choose you willingly, you don't look like a ruler, you look like a role model. But power without limits always asks a question. Who controls the controller? Screens replaced streets. Noise replaced thought. Speed replaced reflection. America entered an age where information was endless, but understanding became rare. Truth became flexible. Reality became personal. And division became profitable. The nation wasn't falling apart violently. It was drifting. People stopped listening to each other. They started fighting symbols instead. And while everyone argued, the system kept running. This was a new kind of control. Quiet, efficient, unnoticed. For the first time in a long while, America began questioning its own reflection. Is this what freedom looks like? Is this what power creates? Is this sustainable? Some demanded change. Some resisted it. Some simply disconnected. The country stood at a strange point. Still power, but uncertain. Power is a strange thing. When you don't have it, you chase it. When you finally get it, it starts shaping you. America reached a point where it no longer needed to prove its strength. Its presence alone was enough. Markets reacted to it. Governments watched it. Cultures copied it. But here is the truth history keeps repeating. No power stays uncontested forever. With influence came responsibility, and with responsibility came pressure. Every decision mattered. Every mistake echoed beyond borders. Every silence was noticed. Inside the nation, questions grew louder. Not about survival anymore, but about meaning. What does freedom look like in a world of control? What does choice mean when options are designed for you? What does unity mean when identities pull people in opposite directions? America began facing a problem no empire can escape. The enemy was no longer outside. It was internal doubt, but uncertain. History had taught America how to rise, but it had never taught it how to slow down. And slowing down is harder than conquering. America's story is not finished. That's what makes it dangerous and fascinating. It is still being built, still being challenged, still being rewritten by every generation. It began as land. It became an idea. It turned into power. And now it stands as a mirror that shows humanity what ambition can create and what it can destroy. This is not the end of the story. It never was. Because America was never just a nation. It was a test, and the world is still living with the results. Some wanted to return to an imagined past. Some wanted to break everything and rebuild. Some just wanted stability in a world that refused to slow down. And through all of this, the machine kept running. Because systems don't feel emotions. They don't feel guilt. They don't pause to reflect. They only expand. Technology accelerated everything. Opinions traveled faster than facts. Fear spread quicker than understanding. And power became more abstract, less visible, but more controlling. America was no longer just a place. It was an influence you couldn't turn off. But influence comes with exhaustion. A nation built on constant motion struggles with stillness. A nation built on ambition struggles with limits. And a nation built on being number one struggles with the idea of being human. This is where America stands today. Not collapsing, not conquering, but questioning. And that moment is more dangerous than war. Because when people stop believing in stories, they start rewriting them. America's future will not be decided by one leader, one election, or one moment. It will be decided by whether it understands its own creation. Was it built only to dominate, or was it built to evolve? History doesn't punish nations for ambition. It punishes them for refusing to change. America has reinvented itself before, through pain, conflict, and chaos. The question now is whether it can do it again, without destroying itself in the process. Because the world no longer watches America with fear alone. It watches with curiosity. What happens when the most powerful experiment in human history has to face its own reflection? This story does not end with answers. It ends with responsibility. And the future of America, like its past, will be built by choices made in moments. Most people don't even realize our history. If this story made you pause, if it made you see history differently, then this channel is for you. Here, we don't rush history. We rebuild it, one story at a time.